Hello, wonderful people. Good morning from Dhaka, Bangladesh. Today, in this episode, I thought of doing a list. Usually, lists are kind of fun to do because I have to compile them, I have to think really, I have to really wrestle them, which one comes before which. It's kind of like a little challenge there. But before I start, I'll do actually like a top 15 tobacco based fragrances. I thought usually before I have done actually I thought like I've done this list, but actually not quite. I couldn't find my list. So even if I did, let's do an upgrade because I'm pretty sure there are so many new ones in my collection. So basically, few things before I start, and then we hit the list. All these fragrances right here, I'm about to show you. I reviewed them individually. So if you really want to see any fragrance reviews, I'll leave the name below. You can search by the fragrance and then space Joy Amin, and you can see my full-on review, right? So, and do apologize for the nose. So my voice, you can see, it's a little bit down. Another thing is, I'm not saying all these are absolute best tobacco fragrances in the world, okay? Do not make that mistake because, of course, I'm just a human being. I do not have everything. I barely have anything when you talk about other collectors. So far in my journey, whatever I encountered in my collection, I'm showing you full bottles. So these are from my collection. So it's sort of like a thing to remember, okay? And last thing I would like to say is these are purely my choices. There's any fragrances that made number 15 could be anyone's number one. So fragrance is always subjective. I have full respect for everybody, and I hope you would see it just like take it easy and just like a hobby, right? So yeah, here we go, number 15 all the way to number one. I have think couple of ties here because they are kind of similar. That's why I put them as ties. I did not leave them out, right? So here you go. So tobacco is sort of like a note that people associate with smoking, right? Pipe tobacco, as you see in the thumbnail, or maybe smoking. So there are different kinds of tobacco. There's cherry tobacco, like fruity flavor. There's also ashy tobacco, like cigarettes, nicotine, that sort of smell. Some people would think of like let's say if you do vaping, it doesn't have tobacco, I guess, but like a nicotine. But you associate with smoking. So I'm not encouraging smoking. Also remember that I prohibit you from smoking. Smoking is not a good thing to do unless you really do not love your life. So tobacco note is entirely different, right? So tobacco note, something smells like tobacco, but it doesn't have any effect on your body, right? So I just thought I make it clear. A lot of things to make clear. Okay, so here we go. Number 15. I'll start with this inexpensive gem here. This is called CK1 Shock for him. There's also one for the ladies. I tried that. That is also very nice. This one, it is reformulated. The old one used to come with this silver atomizer. That one, if you find, buy that one. I heard that one has better longevity. But this one, it's so inexpensive. You can get absolutely 200 ml bottle. You can even find it for less than $40, as far as I know. And this fragrance, it smells like kind of like fruity, not that dark, very nice sort of tobacco on the dry down. It's great for office work. It will last you 3 to 4 hours in the cold weather. This is a cold weather scent. So mostly winter time, tobacco is a note to wear. On the summer times, I don't think any of this fragrance would be suitable for summer. So number 15, CK1 Shock. Check out my review on that. I'm gonna give brief description on each, so you know why it is there where it is. Number 14, I'm gonna go with Zara, Rich, Warm and Addictive. So it comes with a pair, and I think this one is reformulated now. This particular 2016 batch or model rather. The new one, I think, is 2018, is totally different notes breakdown. So if you can get the older one, this one has actually amped up sweetness. It has a lot of coconut. It has a lot of sweet candy like coconut. If you think of what's the day? I keep forgetting. I think Christmas. No, but anyway, the time where part of the year where you get candies, like Halloween. Yeah, if you like Halloween, this is the kind of fragrance that represents Halloween because it's like candy basically. It's very sweet, very unisex, but to my nose, on a dry down, that little tobacco that comes and hits you, it is similar to one niche fragrance in this list. I'll mention in the end. So this fragrance is number 14. It has good lasting power. It has very nice smell, and it's one of the better Zara fragrances. Zara Rich, Warm and Addictive, number 14. Number 13 is a fragrance not doesn't get so much talk. Makes me really sad because this fragrance is a really mature, grown up class version of a very youthful and kind of like a youthful, how to say, like a fragrance that is like just for clubbing, that is 1 million. But 1 million has so many flankers. I own personally 5 of 1 millions. I have this one in particular that I have put today. This is actually called 1 million Prive, and it has this beautiful dark amber juice. I really love this fragrance. So this one is not for everybody, definitely, as you can tell. Not everybody loves this, but if you like 1 million, but you do not like the loudness of the fragrance, this one is toned down, but it does last a long time in the cold fall time, and you can definitely rock it with suit or formal. So this is perhaps one of the better tobacco fragrances that is like that flew under the radar, right? So definitely check it out, my review as well. Beautiful bottles. 1 million, Prive by Paco Rabanne. Number 13. Number 12 is a fragrance. It's a very daring fragrance. This is perhaps the most daring fragrance in this list. Okay, it has a note of tobacco, but not tobacco dominant. It has booze. Okay, it has spices, it has leather, and then there is the tobacco. So this one is hyped in the community for some time, but I did not fall for the hype. I like this fragrance to my nose in the last winter. That's why I bought it. This is John Varvatos. This is called Dark Rebel. I love this fragrance bottle a lot. Okay, and the thing about John Varvatos, I own so far 4. Their fragrances have issue with longevity and projection. That is one thing. But if you just want to get a niche quality type of fragrance that house, they gives you some sort of like, they give you some sort of darkness, and they create their fragrances originally, this is one house to look at. And Dark Rebel, it's a good performance, not weak, but make sure you wear it in the nighttime and winter only, right? Dark Rebel from John Varvatos, number 12. Okay, sorry, yeah, number 12. Number 11 is gonna really surprise you. I have a tie, and these 2 fragrances should be higher up in the order. Many of you will be like, isn't supposed to be here. The reason is wearability factor. These 2 fragrances are so loud. I rock them a lot. I had multiple bottles of one of them, but nowadays I do not reach for them that much. But I love the fragrances itself. Like, it has great, they have great memory with me. They are from House of Rasasi, Shura, and Tobacco Blaze from La Yuqawam line. So these 2 are pretty similar in terms of smell. There are basic differences. This is much more ashier, a little bit dirtier than this one. This one is a little bit more pricey. One thing, it's 75 mil. This one versus 90 mil. This is damn cheap, but this is gonna be like much expensive. I don't know why, but even if you get either one, you're not gonna lose out. Both of them have the note of tobacco, and I think if you want a loud fragrance for winter time that has note of tobacco, ashy tobacco with fruits, and loud. I mean, loud means whole city knows you're wearing a cologne. You definitely check out Rasasi Shura. This has one of the highest number of views. Rasasi Shura Puram has the highest number of views on my channel when I reviewed this, right? I hyped it to the max. So check out number 11, La Yuqawam, Tobacco Blaze from Rasasi, and same house, Rasasi Shura Puram. Okay, that's my number 11. So now entering number top 10, here we go. Number 10, I'm gonna go with Versace The Dreamer. It has been reformulated several times or a couple of times, but really love this fragrance. It's kind of like old school vibe. It has sort of like a mature tone to it. And I have another Versace that is similar to this, but I think that is a little bit better. This is really lavender. It's a dreamy, sort of powdery. It does project beautifully. You can wear it all year round. Perhaps the one fragrance here in this list is versatile. You can wear this in the summer nights, right? So check out my Versace Dreamer review. I really like it, but I don't think it's for everybody. It's very daring, right? Number 10, Versace The River. Very beautiful bottle. Okay, very beautiful bottle. Now, number 9, Chergui. This is Serge Luten, only one I have. I'm not really interested in this how this much because I'm not really familiar with it. I haven't explored them that much. But I sniffed this from one brother and he wanted to sell it. And I just took it. I just took it immediately because of the quality. These are really expensive for 50 ml. These are 50 mls. But this juice color just intrigued me. The bottle is so pretty. And the smell, it has the hay note, you know. I really like that hay note. It's kind of unique. And it is kind of like unisex, but it's not gonna appeal to everybody. It's a little bit dark. It's kind of like a very cold weather, and you just want to wear something for the evening, for a formal occasion, and you don't want to smell like a crowd pleaser. I think I would like you to tell, like, I would like to say, go and try Chergui, but it's not a must buy. Definitely sample it, but definitely the note of tobacco in this, like hay, honey sort of tobacco, kind of nice. Okay, kind of like a buttery, kind of a rich fragrance. Okay, Chergui by Serge Luten, number 9. Number 8, beautiful fragrance. I could have put the flankers of it, but I think this one deserves the credit, not the EDP, not the other ones. This is called Dolce Gabbana The One EDT. I bought this fragrance. This is my very first bottle when I started collecting 2015 officially, alongside Lamal, and Cool Water Perielis. This one I even broke the bottle. I have memories with it. I wore it a lot. So I never got a full bottle of it like 100 ml, but I will. So this one has a beautiful fruit punch, summery sort of vibe. It's supposed to be actually a winter scent, but it sort of became a tropical scent. And the cigar notes in this, it's like a beautiful, it's like a tropical punch, sweet, very masculine, sexy. The DNA, everybody loves it, right? So I would say number 8, Dolce Gabbana The One EDT deserves the credit. Even you can get the EDP, no problem, but this is my pure love, right? Dolce Gabbana The One EDT, number 8. Number 7, the second Versace. Discontinued gem. Still you can find, it's not that difficult to find, but when it will become impossible to find, this will fetch pretty penny. So if you can get a bottle, just keep it. It's a kind of fragrance. At first when you sniff it, it smells very identical to one of the fragrance in my collection. That is Versace Oud Noir. This one is much more expensive than this, but this fragrance, on the dry down, they're completely different fragrance. So when I smell this one first, I was very disappointed. I thought it's the exact same juice in this other bottle. No, not the case. So this one has this sort of powdery lavender, a lot of spices, kind of like, I think there is a note of saffron in this one. It's very masculine, nighttime. It projects like crazy. One of the best performer from the house of Versace. This one performs like blue jeans, like the older ones, Dreamer, not like the newer ones, right? And it's very sort of mysterious kind of fragrance. So tobacco in this, I think it just makes it so alluring. You just more and more you wear this. I think if there's cardamom in it, I'm not sure. But what you get from La Nuit de l'Homme, it's sort of like a mature version of it, minus like bergamot or something. There's not much citrus in it. But damn, this fragrance, you go anywhere, it's a head turner, right? So I would suggest go and try Versace Man, the purple bottle. You can still get this for pretty much below $40 nowadays, right? So that's my number 7. Number 6, and then we'll go hit the top 5. Number 6 is my favorite. This is my baby. Why didn't make it up the list? Because I wear it more casually than it's like sometimes I wear it. It's not all year round. I don't wear it all year round, but I have sentimental values to this fragrance. This one of my earlier bottles, I did crazy things to get this bottle. I saved up. I drove like a crazy person to get it. It was 2 hours away from me, the shop, and I got it just before they closed the shop. This Burberry The London. Burberry The London, it's basically winter scent. People call it sort of like Christmassy scent. It has port wine, tons of notes going on, but the tobacco in this, it's just lovely. And it's sort of like wet tobacco, wet leafy tobacco, you know? And then imagine wet leafy tobacco and you just put it in a wine glass and you are pouring some port wine, some red wine, whatnot. And then there's some leather in this. It's just gorgeous. You sniff it, it smells sometimes like guava, you know, the fruit. I don't know why I get that, but it's lovely. Everybody smells, they're like, oh, so good, so rich, right? So it's a good fragrance, right? One of the better tobacco-based fragrances, which is very inexpensive. Burberry London for men. Time for top 5. Top 5, I'll start with this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, top 5. Number 5, it's a classic. This is one of the fragrances that started my fragrance journey. I mean, I sniffed it from my dad's collection, fell in love with it. It was always my dream to get this fragrance, and I have this one. I have some more flankers of it, but this one remains the classic. This is Armani Code. This one won the Fifi Award, I believe, 2 years back to back for the best fragrance, most creative fragrance, I think, in the fragrance game. Back in the time, there's nothing like that, and even today, you cannot detect that many fragrances that smells like this. So the best thing about this fragrance is very masculine. It's very beautiful. It's dark, it's spicy, it's sweet, and it's very mature. Like, it's a really manly man. The next ones you're about to see, they're all manly man fragrances, but this one defines like a manly man in nighttime, wintertime. Armani Code, lovely tobacco note in this as well, right? That's my number 5. Number 4, I think this is like the second tie of the game. Then there'll be the last tie. So I couldn't leave one out. These both are so similar. One has the note of cinnamon, other one has a note of booze. Apart from that, their notes break down exactly almost the same. I'm talking about Spicebomb, Bvlgari, Man in Black. So this one has a lot of flankers nowadays, and this one has a Spicebomb Extreme, also has tobacco. I do not like that fragrance that much because of the price tag. This one is much more affordable, more like a $75, and this one you can score it for like less than $50. So the thing is, both these fragrances are great for winter all the time. Nighttime, this one I love it for the booze, two bros, which this one doesn't have, but this one has the tobacco, which is also in this, but this one has the cinnamon and the leather, right? So if you compare them side by side, despite all the notes, they smell pretty identical. When you really know them for a long time, then you can pick up the differences. So these two make my top 5, right? Number 4, Spicebomb, Bvlgari, Man in Black. Amazing tobacco notes in both. Number 3, Pure Havane. This was never gonna miss the list. Anybody make a list, even with the up-class fragrances, is gonna make the list easily. Pure Havane is so good. This is my 2010 vintage version. You can get the Thierry Mugler version. That's still good. Mugler version, little bit weak. This fragrance, oh, the cherry, tobacco, the masculinity, the sheer masculinity. It's like rugged man. I don't see this anywhere as unisex. This is a masterpiece. I love Pure Malt and Pure Havane. They're like 10 for me from this house. These are genius fragrances. Every time I wear this, I feel so confident and I project like crazy. So Pure Havane, number 3. Number 2, there's the last tie, I promise. Not much left though. So number 2, these two, okay? These two, why did I pick them as tie? First of all, this is Alexandria Fragrances, Honey Hafiz, Mr. Honey's signature. This is called, I think, Hafiz 1984. I've been wearing this a lot. This one has beast mode performance. And the opening, I was kind of confused. I thought this is a Tobacco Venice sort of a exact clone, but when the dry down hits you, then you realize Mancera tobacco. These two are DNA is kind of same. This is a little bit more smoky, right? I think this is a lot more dirtier than this. This is a little bit more cleaner, more fruitier. But on the dry down, 85% same. But great quality. Either one you get, you're not gonna lose out, right? So I would say number 2, Red Tobacco by Mancera. This one projects like nobody's business. So is this. You can get either one, okay? 2 of the best tobacco fragrances. Hafiz 1984, Red Tobacco by Mancera. Leaves me to number 1, and of course you guys know, if you see my recent collection, you guys know this was gonna make number 1. This one is not the longest lasting in my whole lineup, and you understand one thing, it's not about lasting power, it's about the smell. And I told you a while ago, this fragrance kind of inspired by the number 1, Rich One Addictive, right? That is Herod. Okay, there is a new one that is I think, wait, I have a sample of that one. Let me show you. Parfums de Marly Carlisle. This fragrance right here. This one, Herod, and they upgraded to Carlisle. They mix it with Ojan and I think Luten. So 3-4 fragrances in one fragrance. But I love this one more. Why? First of all, when I sniffed this for the first time, I did a sample review on this, and I got the bottle recently because it's winter. The tobacco you find in this, it's just easy. When you think of tobacco, it's a very sort of a daring note, right? But in this one, it's instant love. You spray this and you know immediately, like, you know, the sprayers are great on this. You have to go like 3 to 4 sprays to make it last a little bit, and you have to reapply after 5 hours because it's kind of longevity. It's kind of spotty. Projection rather. Longevity is okay. So the thing is, wow, you like tobacco Veni, but you think that's too loud. This is your solution. This is one of the better, I would say, niche fragrances that I would actually wanted. I wanted for a long time. Try this out. You get 120 ml juice, excellent bottle presentation. It's just beautiful. It's gorgeous. You're gonna always get noticed. It's good for close encounters as well as nighttime outing, and it's kind of unisex. Ladies can wear this too. My number 1, Herod by Parfums de Marly. So that's my list for top 15 tobacco-based fragrance. So what do you think, and which ones did you try or own? Which one is number 1? I would like to know. Take care, guys. I'll see you soon, and have a very nice day. Bye bye.